Hello and welcome to the video with me, Winner Andre, to another video of Weekly Andre, in which I think I'll just go straight to talking about anime this week, considering I have like 7 anime to talk about this week, because that's how much actually into this week that I was watching, which I'm pretty sure there's twice as much for next week. Thankfully all that's basically on the weekend, I think. But yeah, starting off with Nagatoro's second season, in which this was another good season, to be honest. Though, for some reason, it kind of felt a bit weird to me for some reason. If I had to take a guess, it was probably the art animation in it just felt off, I think. But besides that, pretty good. In which this season kind of really got things going when it comes to the romance, to be honest. Which in the season ending with a hug, though of course it can't really be a kiss, cause yeah, Nagatoro set some conditions or something for a kiss there, and Naoto still hasn't met those conditions, so I have absolutely no idea what those conditions were. Don't remember them anymore, but yeah. 2 whole seasons, and we've gotten a hug. Yeah. But, yeah, don't have anything else to really just talk about in general when it comes to Nagatoro, so moving on to the next one, which is the Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. I don't think there's really a shortened name for that, so yeah, that's the whole English title. But, yeah, this was a pretty good, wholesome romance anime, in which, of course, like most romance anime, doesn't really actually have any progress at all, despite an entire year going by in the anime. Yeah, a whole year went by and absolutely no progress when it comes to romance, to be honest. With any of the couples. Considering you got three couples basically. You got Futsuki with Himuro basically. Himuro being a descendant of Yukiona. And then the other two Uside ones with Komori, which is Kitsune, with Saejima. And then also Tonashi with Katori, which is a phoenix. So yeah, I got 3 spirits, I guess, kind of. Himuro, Komori, and Hattori. So, yeah. Got them there. And I guess just one detail I'm going to mention here before moving on to the next thing, I guess, is just, yeah. One detail in this that I really liked was the animation when it comes to the eyes. Guys, whenever there's like a close-up of one of the characters' face or anything, they had the eyes animated to where they're actually moving around and weren't actually staring at the exact same spot the entire time. Just having that instead of having a still frame there like most other anime do. They actually move the eyes around a little bit, at least. Which, to be honest, is pretty good considering I'm pretty sure that's kind of normal for people to do. Is moving their eyes around just a little bit at the very least. But, yeah. I think I basically said all that really needs to be said about this one. Just good wholesome romance anime, to be honest, that makes absolutely no progress at all, like normal. So, moving on to the next one, which I honestly have no idea what the shortened name for this is, but I guess it'd be Ningen Fushin or something. But the rest of the title is Adventurers Who Don't Believe in Humanity Will Save the World, in which it was an okay anime, I guess. It had a bit of an interesting concept, I feel like. Though it completely failed on actually capitalizing on that, I kind of think. But, yeah. Got all the adventures there and everything with the survivors, in which their backstories all similar, of course, with the game, all of them being betrayed, pretty much. So they come together and form survivors, and yeah. They don't trust anyone, and there's a reason why they can get along with each other. Pretty much. But, yeah. Interesting concept. That's it. And it didn't really do a good job at all at actually doing anything with it, I feel like. When it comes to actually making the story interesting or even the characters interesting. It's just that the concept behind it is interesting, and that's it. Just the concept of it. But, yeah. moving on to the next one, which is Magical Revolution, which is a short name for that thing. I don't really, not going to really bother with full name of, but yeah, it was good. The story, though, kind of, I feel like, kind of became a bit stupid towards the end of the end there. I feel like the story got a little bit stupid towards the end, but, and I'm pretty sure that's kind of probably due to contents being cut out of the anime, so yeah. But at the very least, the last anime episode was actually still good, in which Anis and Euphilia kissed each other there, which of course makes that an automatic 10 out of 10 for all the obsessed Yuri fans out there, I'll say that much. But, yeah, it was good. That's all I really know what to say about it. It was good. That's it. I don't have anything special to say about Magical Revolution, so moving on to next one, kinda of the Great Snow Sea, or Parent Sea is the name of that. Which this is apparently Polygon Pictures' 40th anniversary project, pretty much. In which, of course, Polygon Pictures just does CGI stuff, so yeah. And as expected of a studio that's been doing CGI for 40 years, the CGI is actually kind of good. Considering basically everything CGI there, kind of, I guess. Eh. But, yeah. This is another anime that kind of felt a bit underwhelming, I feel like. Considering the only interesting thing in this thing, I think, was just the world. Which it completely failed to capitalize on by not doing any world building. Because the story was kind of shit. And yeah, the only thing I found interesting in this was the world it's taking place in which they don't really develop at all. Seriously. Also felt very rushed, to be honest, considering it's like, this is supposed to feel like it needed like another 12 episodes to tell the story it was trying to tell, but instead it's 12 episodes and very rushed, basically, where every single episode is like its own arc or something at this point. Considering you just go from one thing in one episode to the next and the next one, pretty much. With a small transition at the beginning and end, pretty much. I feel like. But, yeah. One thing I kind of actually noticed in, like, second to last episode was the fact that, I remembered the fact that Kaina is the only one that can actually read. So, yeah. The Admiral at the end there. He has this builder mech thing and there, and it has all of these warnings. Kaina's the only person that can read. The Admiral had absolutely no idea what any of those warnings were saying. He probably didn't know that they were warnings. So, yeah, that's something I kind of noticed in, like, second to last episode there. So, yeah, bit funny there with that, I guess. But, yeah. And also, apparently, this thing's actually getting a movie, and that was actually announced before the anime actually started airing, I think. So, yeah, we're apparently getting a movie for this. At some point, I'm not exactly sure when, but we're apparently going to be getting one. But, yeah, moving on to the next one. Onimai. Which I think I can safely say that this is one of my favorite anime of the season, if not my favorite of the season. In which, to be honest, I'm not actually exactly sure what it is that I like so much about Onimai. But if I had to take a guess at anything, it would probably be how wholesome this is, despite everything, pretty much. Kind of trying to get it to go more lewd, kind of. It's still very wholesome despite everything else in it. In which, just go back to the kind of stuff at the beginning to set up things up here. Miyari drugged her brother and turned him into a little girl as a rehabilitation project because he is a NEET, basically. That's how all this stuff started here, so yeah. And I was kind of starting to wonder, before watching the final episode and everything, exactly how temporary that drug is. What the drug's effects were, considering they didn't come up until the very final episode. in which I'm guessing how much time's basically passed in the anime up to this point is probably around 6 months, so apparently the drug effects only last 6 months. Only 6 months. Yeah, that's quite a while for a single drug, I feel like. But yeah, she's a genius, so yeah, whatever. I also feel like that drug might is probably changing Mahiro's mentality a bit, slowly making him more feminine, where he acts more feminine and everything. So yeah, he's never going back to being a guy. Come on, that's not going to happen. Maybe the other character, they'll eventually tell the other characters at some point. I'm not exactly sure, but he's never going back to being a guy. He's staying a girl. Nothing to it. And also, one other thing to mention when it comes to relating to the drug a bit is the fact that final episode there, Mario started turning back to a guy a bit there, in which during that time there, before he took the drug again, um, was he the first Futa to be in a normal anime? I'm not exactly sure. Normal anime, not hentai or borderline hentai. Not sure, but maybe. And also, just another thing here that I guess I'm just going to complain about when it comes to this is, well, not to really complain about, considering I didn't really care about it at all, is the completely pointless censored version of the anime, which literally the only things it actually really does is censors Mio's boobs and adds more fog to scenes that had fog. Yeah. Of course, the scenes with fog being the ones where characters are naked and stuff, but still, there's already fog there, but they decided to add even more fog in the censored version. To the point where it's like half the screen is actually kind of covered up with fog, though the final episode that I'm kind of using as an example here, it's not as bad as some of the other examples, considering, yeah, there's times, like one or two times I think, earlier on, with my hero being taking a shower or something. It's like, there's nothing there, you got fog, but the censored version adds more fog to the point where it's hard to even see my hero, because of how much fog there is. But, yeah. Bit of a complaints there. It's like, why does this aren't censored version even exist? Seriously, why? But, yeah. Last thing I guess I'll mention for Onimai is just the fact that I don't think it's going to get a second season for some reason, despite the popularity of it and everything. I don't think it's going to get a second season, purely because the darn thing literally ends with the end. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most anime, or basically all anime that ends with the end, don't get another season. So yeah, I don't think Onimai is going to get a second season, sadly, despite how popular it is. Yeah. So, moving on to the next one, which is the final anime I actually got for this week, which is Ice Blade Sorcerer, in which was another one of the more underwhelming anime of this season, in which the story was kinda just meh, not good. And the animation wasn't really good either, so eh. And it's very clear from the very beginning that Ray is basically like the perfect gentleman and everything. That's super polite and everything. So yeah. Of course the girls, four girls there I guess, just easily fall for him and everything. And yeah. I honestly don't have anything good to say about the anime. So yeah. That's it basically. So done. Done with anime. So now, just to talk about one random thing that I for some reason decided to do this week, which was trying to get Railroad Tycoon 3 working on my computer. And yeah, I spent quite a while working on that, trying to get it working and everything, in which I did actually get it working completely, with the coast-to-coast expansion and everything, but I was stupid and continued messing around with things and broke it. and I wasn't able to get it back to working again. So, yeah. Also, I'm kind of basically just assuming that it was working considering just it's getting to the main menu and everything was enough for me to say that it was working. Not, I didn't need to go into the game and actually try and play it. It's like, if the game didn't immediately crash, I would consider it working basically at that point. But yeah, only other times I actually did get it working was without the Coast to Coast expansion. In which I have honestly actually never seen the Coast to Coast expansion before. Cause yeah, this doesn't come with a darn thing, despite its being a 1.05 disc. So after the Coast to Coast expansion, which was basically a free update, which in the end was basically just version 1.04. So yeah, no idea why a disc for 1.05 does not have the Coast to Coast expansion, which is basically a free update for the previous version. Yeah, no idea what was going on at the time there, but yeah, it's stupid. But yeah, I had never actually seen the Coast to Coast maps before, and I did take one look at them when the game was working there, and yeah, that's a lot of maps I've never seen before, and yeah, maps I probably really would have liked to actually play on as well, especially the Coast to Coast map and everything. Considering just larger the map, the better, more I'd probably like it and everything. Considering I'm pretty sure one of the largest maps was Tex-Mex map in the base game, and also this Southeast US map or whatever. It's like those are kind of my favorites just because they were large. So, yeah. Pretty sure I would have liked the Coast to Coast maps. Just saying. But yeah, I couldn't get it working or anything at all again after that first time. And yeah. I did test it at one point on my old computer, so basically turned on my computer for like the third time in the last year. And yeah, got it working on there, though I didn't try it with the coast to coast maps and stuff. But yeah, I got the game actually working perfectly fine after just putting in a no CD patch. That's it. So it works perfectly fine on my old computer, but not on my... I can't do the exact same thing on my new computer, despite both of them being on Windows 10 and everything. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the main difference is monitor resolution. For some reason, it just really doesn't like the 1920 by 1080 resolution at all. Even when I try to get it to open in a windowed mode, it still crash immediately, basically. And also another thing about it, the fact that I did get it working on the old computer. I didn't do it with Coast to Coast, but it's also my old computer that is several years old, very slow, and just in general very shit. So yeah, I'm never really playing games on that thing ever again. Seriously, never touching the darn thing. To be honest, and there's a reason why I basically only turned it on like 3 times in last year, despite still having everything set up and everything. But yeah. Next week, I think I got like 14 anime to go over. Cause yeah, 14 anime ending next week that I'm watching. I think, if I remember counting correctly. So yeah, oh, thankfully basically all of that is on the weekend. So get through the weekend and I'm basically done with that stuff. Thankfully. Cause Monday to Thursday is just one anime each day. That's it. Which will be very nice. So yeah. I'm going to have to deal with all that and everything. But yeah, at this point, I guess I will just go ahead and end this video. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.